Welcome to I'm Okay Being a Karen. My name is Sterling, and here we talk about daily life, real situations, and the exact moments that test my patience. So grab your coffee and join the conversation. Hi, welcome back. I have a question today. When exactly did I become an employee everywhere I shop? Because apparently, somewhere along the way, I got hired by the grocery store. I also work at a fast food restaurant. I'm part-time tech support. I'm apparently qualified to handle my own banking transactions. I'm my own travel agent. And depending on the company I'm dealing with that day, I might also be responsible for shipping, returns, billing, scheduling, and inventory management. But here's the weird part. Nobody told me I got the job. Nobody has trained me, and certainly nobody is paying me. And somehow everything keeps getting more and more expensive. So today I want to talk about something I think most of us have noticed, but maybe haven't really stopped to think about. Why is everything self-service except the price? Because technology was supposed to make our lives easier. And sometimes it absolutely does. But somewhere between technology makes things more convenient and download our app because we don't employ enough people to help you anymore. Something has changed. And I think it's worth asking, what are we doing here? So let's start with the obvious one, self-checkout. Now, before anyone comes for me, I actually like self-checkout sometimes. If I've got three things and there's a self-checkout machine open, absolutely, I'm in. Scan, pay, and out the door. It's beautiful. That's technology actually making something more convenient. But that's not always what we're talking about anymore. What I'm talking about is walking into a store and getting ready to check out with an entire cart of groceries and seeing 12 checkout lanes, but only one cashier. Meanwhile, there are 14 self-checkout machines waiting for customers to process their own purchases. So now I'm scanning. I'm looking up the code for bananas. I'm weighing produce. I'm bagging everything myself. And then I hear unexpected item in bagging area. Excuse me? You put me on the schedule? I don't even work here. Then the machine freezes and a light flashes because apparently I've done something requiring managerial approval. So now I'm standing there waiting for one employee supervising 10 machines to come over and authorize my yogurt. And while I'm waiting, I'm thinking, this company has successfully turned 10 customers into 10 temporary cashiers, with one actual employee overseeing the operation. That's pretty efficient for the company. But here's my question. Where's my employee discount? Because I'm doing remarkably well for someone who didn't even fill out an application. And before someone says, well, self-checkout helps keep prices down, does it really? Because, because from where I'm standing, I'm scanning my own groceries while simultaneously wondering how a bag of chips got this expensive. So again, what the heck is going on? And the grocery stores are hardly alone. Let's go get lunch. You walk into a restaurant, there's a giant touch screen. You place your own order, you customize your own order, you enter your own payment information, You fill your own drink, pick up your own food, you throw away your own trash, and then the payment screen spins around and asks 18%, 20%, 25%, or other. Now hold on. Before anyone misunderstands me, there isn't an argument against tipping people who actually provide service. People working in service jobs deserve to be compensated fairly for the work they perform. That's a completely separate conversation. What I'm talking about is the bizarre moment when a computer asks me how much I'd like to tip after I just performed half, if not three-fourths of the transaction myself. Tip who? The tablet? Because if that's the case, I'd like to speak with its manager. And I know somebody listening right now is thinking, Sterling, just hit no tip. I know, but that's not the point. The point is how quickly we've normalized this entire experience. The labor keeps moving towards the customer. The expectation to pay more keeps moving towards the customer. The inconvenience keeps moving towards the customer. And somehow we're still being told that it's all about making things more convenient for the customer. Now, retail is another one. Remember when you could walk into a store and actually find someone who knew the department? You'd say, "Excuse me, do you have this in another size?" And somebody would actually check. Now, you wander around for 15 minutes looking for an employee. Finally, you find someone and ask, "Do you have this in another size?" And they reply, "Did you check the app?" "No, I didn't check the app. I'm standing inside the store. I'm physically here." If I wanted to shop entirely through the app, I could have stayed home wearing pajama pants and saved myself the drive. But okay, I'll download the app, create an account, verify my email, accept 37 pages of terms and conditions that absolutely no one has ever read, turn on my location services, find the item, and the app says, 3 available in store. Great! Where are they? Nobody knows. So now apparently I've been promoted from cashier to inventory specialist. Again, what is going on? But the bigger issue isn't really self-checkout. It's something much larger. We've quietly transferred an enormous amount of work from companies to customers. Think about everything you manage yourself now. You schedule appointments, you check yourself in, you upload your insurance card, you complete forms online, you track your own packages, you initiate your own returns, you print your own return labels, you troubleshoot your own electronics, you manage subscriptions, you dispute charges, you reset accounts, you research products, you check inventory, you compare prices. And when something goes wrong, that's when things get really interesting. Because now you have to find customer service. Now, I don't know who designed modern customer service phone systems, but I'm convinced they've never actually needed customer service. You call, and here, please listen carefully because our menu options have recently changed. Recently? That recording has been saying that since 2017. Then you hear, press 1 for billing. Did you know you can manage your account online? Yes, that's where I started. That's why I'm calling you. Well, please visit our website. I did that. Would you like us to text you a link? No, I have the link. The link is the reason we're having this conversation. Then you finally think you're getting somewhere. Please briefly describe what you're calling about. So you say, billing problem. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Billing. Okay, you'd like information about opening a new account? No. And somehow the system understands new customer perfectly. Funny how that works. Eventually, you start desperately yelling, representative, agent, human, like you're trying to summon someone from another dimension. And if you actually reach a person, you've actually accomplished something. You feel victorious. I got someone. There's a human being on the phone. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't accidentally disconnect because I'm not going back through that phone tree again. And now we're adding AI chatbots into the mix. Again, AI isn't inherently the problem. For simple questions, it's great. What time do you close? Where's my order? How do I reset my password? Perfect. Technology should handle simple things quickly. But when something complicated goes wrong, customers need access to someone capable of solving it. Instead, sometimes you get, how can I help you today? My package never arrived. I'm sorry you're having trouble with your package. Would you like information on our shipping policy? No, I would like my package. And that's when customer service stops feeling like customer service and starts feeling like an obstacle course. Here's where this becomes more than just something funny to complain about. There's actually labor involved in being a modern consumer. We don't usually think about it that way because it's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes on hold, fill out this form, create this password, verify the account, upload this document, download this app, print the label, take the package somewhere, wait for the refund, check whether the refund posted, call because the refund didn't post, explain the situation again, get transferred, explain it again, get disconnected, call back, start over. One individual task doesn't seem like much, but add all those little tasks together across every company we interact with, and suddenly consumers are spending a significant amount of their own time managing transactions that businesses want staffed people to handle. And that's the part I think we've stopped noticing. We've gotten so accustomed to doing everything ourselves that we've forgotten someone used to provide these services. Now, I want to be fair here because this isn't an anti-technology rant. There are plenty of self-service options I genuinely prefer. Mobile boarding passes, love them. Online banking, absolutely. Ordering something at midnight, fantastic. Checking into a flight without standing in line, count me in. Using self-checkout when I have 3 things, give me that option every single time. So technology can make life dramatically easier. The issue isn't self-service. The issue is when self-service becomes the only service. There's a big difference. Give customers options. Because to force customers to do everything themselves because you've eliminated the people who used to provide the service, that's something entirely different, especially when the price doesn't reflect it. And that's really the question underneath this entire episode. If automation saves companies money, if fewer employees are needed, if customers are performing more and more of the transaction themselves, where are those savings going? Because consumers aren't exactly looking around saying, wow, everything sure is getting cheaper. Quite the opposite. We're paying more in a lot of places. We're seeing additional fees like service fees, convenience fees, processing fees, delivery fees, administrative fees, and my personal favorite, the convenience fee. Nothing says convenience quite like charging me extra for the privilege of doing something myself. At some point, you have to appreciate the audacity. And this is where the Karen conversation starts. Because we've created this strange environment where simply asking for customer service can sometimes make people feel like they're being difficult. I don't want to complain. I don't want to be that person. I don't want them to think I'm a Karen. Well, hold on. There's a difference between treating an employee badly and expecting a company to provide reasonable service. Those are not at all the same. Screaming at a cashier because a coupon expired, that is absolutely ridiculous. Humiliating a server because your fries aren't crispy enough, also ridiculous. Demanding special treatment because you think you're the more important than anyone else? Yeah, that's the Karen stereotype. But saying, excuse me, I've tried your website, your app, your chat box, your automated phone system, and none of them solved my problem. I need somebody to help me. That's not entitlement, that's customer service. Or at least it used to be. And maybe that's the part that bothers me the most. We haven't just expected less service. We've somehow been conditioned to feel guilty for asking for it. Businesses have every right to use technology. They have every right to become more efficient. They have every right to automate repetitive tasks. And customers have every right to say, this is not working for me. Because both things can be true. Because innovation should make the customer's experience better, not simply make the company's payroll smaller. So here's what I want to know from you. What's the most ridiculous thing a company has expected you to do yourself? Have you ever walked into a store and couldn't find anyone to help you? Have you ever spent so long fighting an automated customer service system that you wanted to throw your phone across the room? Have you ever been standing at a self-checkout with a full cart and thought, when exactly did I get hired here? Send me those stories because I have a feeling we've all got one. And maybe I'm not irritated because I have to scan my own groceries. Maybe I'm irritated because somewhere along the way, companies have tried to convince us that doing their jobs ourselves was somehow an upgraded customer experience. And if I'm scanning my own groceries, bagging my own groceries, placing my own order, checking the inventory, troubleshooting my own account, and fighting a robot for the privilege of eventually speaking to a human being, while everything continues getting more expensive, I have exactly one question. What the hell is going on? Remember, having standards doesn't make you a Karen. Expecting basic decency isn't asking too much. If you've ever walked away from a situation thinking, am I the problem or are people just getting worse? Then you're in the right place. Be sure to follow this podcast, leave a rating, drop a comment, and share it with someone who will appreciate a little common sense. And if you've got a story that brought out your inner Karen, send it to me at the email address in the notes. Your story might become a future episode. My name is Sterling, and I will see you next time on I'm Okay Being a Karen.